Today, 10 tips on Pro Tools shortcuts. Hi, blessings everybody from Inspiredkeys TV. My name is Joshua Hermina here at Inspiredkeys Studios in beautiful Lakeland, Florida. Today I want to talk to you about 10 tips that or 10 shortcuts that I use, some 10 tips at least, and I'll try to be as short as possible. So let's go to our desktop. And I have a session here open. We're not going to listen to the session. It's just to show you a little bit of the Pro Tools, the shortcuts that I use. For example, here's a plugin, Auto-Tune. Doesn't matter what plugin it is. But if you want to, the first tip is if you want to mute, bypass that specific plugin, then you press Command and point it with your pointer, left click with your pointer, and it will bypass. You can see right here, it's bypassing. So that's number one. It's a fairly easy one, but it's, it's kind of quick. You can move quick on it once you learn it all by memory. So that's number one. Number two, if you want all the first plugins, and that chain to bypass, then you add Option. So as you can see, all the first plugins on the chain on every channel that you have will do that. Now, let me let you know, if you press on the second one, if that's pressing on the first one, if you press on the second one, then all the second one will also bypass all your plugins if you have a plugin there. Okay, so number three, Control and Option, and it'll bypass all those plugins. Now that's pressing on the first one. If you press on the second one, then it'll do it, thereafter. Okay, it'll do it thereafter. So that's all your channels, all the channels on your session. So number four, if you want to bypass all your plugins, but if you want that specific channel, all your plugins, then you do Shift Control, right? Yes, Control, Shift Control. And again, if you want beyond that, or if you want this, for example, this Auto-Tune, you want it, leave it alone, you don't want to bypass, you want to bypass the rest, then you press on the first one. Same thing thereafter, you press that, and so it's Shift Control Pointer, and it'll do whichever you point, that's the one it will bypass. All right, so number five, if you want to make a track inactive, you can press Apple or Command, and you press Control Apple, and it will make that plugin inactive. All right, so it depends which one. If you do the second one, it'll make that one inactive. So that one is number five. Number six, if you want all first plugins inactive, then you press all three on the bottom, Control, Option, and Apple, and it'll make all the first ones. If you press the first one, it'll make all your first ones inactive on that specific plugin. I'm getting this this warning, or not warning, but this because I have some plugins that are frozen, so that's why I'm going to get that message. So if you do the second one, it'll do the same. All the second ones, it'll make those inactive. It's just a shortcut that you can do. So that one is number, what was that? That was number six. Yes, it was. So number seven, if you want your tracks muted or solo, then you press Option, Now you go there and you press option and it'll mute all those channels. Or if you press solo, it'll solo all those controls. So these are sometimes they're not used. You don't find tutorials on that, but it's just something that you can, it'll be helpful, you know, when you're trying to solo all the tracks instead of scrolling and doing all of them. That's all you do. That's number. So number 8, if you want to zoom in or zoom out instead of going in and using your, you know, your mouse here, or there's different ways of doing it. But another command is if you press command and option, and you have on your mouse you have a scroll wheel, then it will zoom in or zoom out. Depends the direction you do it. So I think that's a little bit quicker. So 2 ways that you can do it. All right. So number 9 is if you want, here's the volume. It's at 3.6. So if I want to, let's say, raise this, and I want to raise it to 7. Well, it's going to go to 4.2. It's going to go on high increments, and you know that's not what I want. So if I want it, it's on 3.6, and I want it on 3.7. Do the same thing. Hold it, but then when you go, you press command, and that'll do it on small increments. So there's the 7 I want it. It'll go by ones, and you can, you know, be precise on that. So that's one way to do it. Number 10, if this is very simple too. If you want to put this on 0, then you press option, and it'll go 0. So if it's on right here, I believe this was on 5, 9, whatever, wherever it was, you press option and you click on that, and it'll go to 0. All right, so let me scroll back out here, and so that is, I believe that is it. There's some more shortcuts that I know, but I'll do that in another, I'll prepare another tutorial if you want to know more shortcuts. So if you have any questions of the shortcuts that I did, leave your comments below, and we will get to them, you know, in another tutorial. I will answer those questions. I believe that's it. So I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, again, I said, if you subscribe, you know, leave your comments and share if you want this video. And if you enjoyed this video, just leave your comments. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this, and hope you join us next time for another episode of Inspired Keys TV. This is Joshua Hermina from Inspired Keys Studios, where we expand the horizon of your music. Blessings always. Bye.